Hello everyone, this video is on autism. And I had to make this video because I have autistic clients and I just want to share how spectacular these beings are that have come onto the planet now. A lot of the time, there can be misunderstandings with autism. People can look at people with that kind of neurodiversity and assume there's something wrong, assume that they have less to give in the world or that they're a burden. And this is absolutely untrue. We're very privileged to have this opportunity to have these, I call them interplanetary beings on the planet right now, because when souls incarnate into a world which has a lower vibration to what they're used to, it can be difficult. They can find it hard to adapt. They can find it hard to function in a world, to try and think the way that other people think, because they're at a different platform of awareness. They don't think the same way. They inhabit a huge transcendental space. And so, if you're sensitive to the transcendental space that they inhabit, you can notice it. And you start to realize, oh, they have access to something that other people don't have access to. And that can lead to cities, to special gifts, mathematical genius, musical genius, comedic genius. There's so many levels of genius that can be expressed. And having worked with people like that, they have so much to offer humanity. They have a bird's eye view of things that other people maybe can't see. I know that sometimes if I go into deep spaces of meditation or I connect and a doorway opens, that I might sometimes temporarily have access to do mathematical equations that I previously couldn't do. However, that window, that doorway shuts, and then I can't get back to it. So it was given like a temporary access and then it shut. And I'm like, oh, damn. But with autistic people, it seems to be that they have these doorways that don't shut, and they can do these equations, or they can channel this musical genius, or they can have the ability to communicate telepathically. And a lot of people who are autistic are not seen. They're not made aware of how powerful they actually are. And just because they might have difficulty in relationships or difficulty getting friends or being a little geeky and awkward or struggling just being in this lower vibration does not mean that they are less valuable. They just sometimes need to know how powerful they are. And once they realize how powerful they are, they can then have the confidence to be themselves and to actually see who they are and what a profound gift they are. And so, if you have been diagnosed with autism, thank you. Thank you for coming to the planet right now, even though it's difficult for you to inhabit it, and people might misunderstand you, not realize the beauty of who you are, because you are incredible and your heart space is just gigantic. And that's another misunderstanding, that autistic people lack empathy. This is not true. This is the reverse of the truth. This is a complete lie or misunderstanding. Autistic people are so sensitive. They have access to so much information that they can get overwhelmed. And so they can just shut down because they can't deal with all the information coming in, because they can be very sensitive to sound or to taste or to touch or to other people's emotions. And so they're so sensitive, and other people's emotions can get transferred and they can pick them up, that they just shut down and become very rigid and can't relate to people who don't have such an empathetic, open heart space. They are all altruistic. And I have a beautiful story of when I was walking my dog in the park, a little dog, a little Pomeranian mixed with a Sheltie, a little poshy dog. And this 7-year-old child ran up to Philip, was the name of the dog, and started just talking to Philip. And I thought, oh, how cute. And I saw his mum, and she looked really sad and was crying. And I said, are you okay? And she just kind of collapsed on the bench and said, my son's never spoken. He's mute, but he's now talking to your dog. And I said, wow, well, maybe I can visit you. And she goes, yes. And we shared numbers, and I used to go and visit this 7-year-old child with Philip, my dog, and he'd talk to Philip, but he wouldn't talk to humans. And so I said, I think you might need to get him a dog. And I thought, well, maybe he doesn't talk to humans because he thinks humans are stupid or judgmental or just won't get who he is as a being, because they have too much noise in their minds. But animals don't have that noise, and animals can see who he is energetically and on a finer level. And so he felt comfortable and he'd talk. And it wasn't that he couldn't talk, he just chose not to talk to human adults. And he did say some things to me which were really interesting. The one time he spoke to me, he just said, why do animals eat other animals? That makes me sad. Why do humans eat other animals? That makes me sad. And I thought, wow, he's just so sensitive to everything that's going on. He asked these profound questions. And I just said, well, you'll figure it out because you're a smart boy. So just be patient and the answer will come to you. And then you can tell me. And so there is this kind of tapped in, alien like, cosmic intelligence that autistic people have. And I notice that when I'm with autistic individuals, that there's this relaxation in my physiology that I feel, this homeliness that I also feel with animals. And I often wondered why that occurred. And then I reflected on it and I was like, animals don't judge humans. And then I thought, well, autistic people are not that judgmental. They reside in a new way of thinking. And so I just love autistic individuals. They may be part of what's coming through to save the planet. They need to be celebrated, they need to be supported, they need to be put into positions of power, they need to be, you know, mentored so that they can have their power reflected back to them and their gifts and their cities fully uncovered and given out in the world. These people are incredible. They can come up with solutions to things that other people can never come up with a solution to. They can be incredible meditators, spiritual teachers, channels. Um, they can make contact with other life forms that are non-human. Um, you know, meditators do a lot of work to gain access to a transcendental field. Autistic people already are very tapped into that field naturally just by who they are, and I just love them. So I really wanted to make this video so We can celebrate autism and move beyond the limited awareness of what it is. And it's Guru Purnima today. And I was like, wow, autistic people are gurus. They're teachers. They've come to the planet to teach us things. They are the new age, the new wave of teachers, and they command respect. So respect. Thank you for arriving.